Now, biochemistry is the study of chemicals or chemical processes taking place in the living organisms. Now, there are specific criteria, or there are specific areas to which we will limit the biochemistry inside our body. Like we can say that the principal areas of biochemistry are the macromolecules, metabolism, and the genetics. Macromolecules means the molecules that are present inside our body and that are large in the structure or by their molecular weight, and that are very important part of like in the process of the energy production and in the process of biological oxidation and other such processes. Then metabolism is basically the breakdown of these macromolecules, and genetics, obviously you know that genetics is the basis of the life, or that determines your gene, heredity, each and everything. So these are some principal areas of the biochemistry. Let's discuss them one by one. First of all, the macromolecules. Macromolecules, as I told you, these are the large molecules that are present inside our body. Like when you take some food, like you have eaten a burger, what happens that this food obviously contains some chemicals in it, some molecules in it. Like you can say that a burger contains this much carbohydrate, this much protein, and this much lipids. So what are these carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids? Basically, these carbohydrate, protein, and the lipids, they are the macromolecules. So the macromolecules that I'm talking about are these carbohydrates, lipids, and the proteins, and the source of this macromolecule is the food that you are taking. Now, the major macromolecules are the carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and the nucleic acid. Now, carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids, and nucleic acid is also a form of the protein that is form of the amino acids, just like the protein, and it forms the DNA, that is the genetic material of the body. Then carbohydrates are very important. They are basically the compounds or the macromolecules that consist of aldehyde in their structure, and these carbohydrates are important because they play a role in inside our body in the production of energy. Like you are familiar with the glucose regulation. Glucose is a carbohydrate. So that's why they are important. Then proteins are also very important because they are involved in the forming the structures as well, and in the production of energy, and they are also very important to provide strength. And then lipids are majorly involved in the formation of the structure inside our body, and also to some extent they are involved in the process of energy production. And nucleic acid, as I told you, they are involved in the production of the DNA, and the different structure are formed by the nucleic acid. Also, the two important components inside our body, the hormones and the enzymes, they are protein in nature. So you can say that proteins are also playing very important role inside our body. All of these macromolecules are important for proper functioning and the proper system and regulation. Now, coming to the metabolism, as I told you that the food you take, it consists of various macromolecules. First, the food is converted into the macromolecules, and then these macromolecules are converted to the energy. So basically, this process of conversion of food to the energy, that is the ATP and NADPH, this is known as the metabolism. Now, metabolism can be anabolic or catabolic. In case of catabolism, there is the breakdown. And in case of anabolism, there is the compilation or addition of two or more substances to form a new compound or substance. Like now you can say that metabolism is a series of reaction. Catabolism is those type of reaction in which there is the breakdown is taking place, and anabolic is those type of reaction in which the things are combining up to form a large molecule, or you can say small molecules are combining to form a large molecule. So both of these processes are taking place side by side inside our body, the catabolism and the anabolism. So here, what this diagram is telling you, everything that goes inside your body, it comes out also. That is also the law of the nature, that energy is always converted into something and it is not destroyed. Likewise takes place inside our body. Like if you inhale, you are taking oxygen in. What happens that this oxygen is converted, this is taken in and carbon dioxide comes out. Now, how this process is taking place. Like you are inhaling oxygen and carbon dioxide is coming out. You know that a process of respiration is involved in whole this process. Inhalation and exhalation is under the control of respiratory system, and the process is known as respiration. So now that's mean that biochemistry is involved in the respiration process as well, because oxygen is a compound, a chemical compound. Oxygen, O2 is the formula of the oxygen. That is a diatomic molecule, and carbon dioxide is also a molecule that is formed of a carbon and oxygen. The one atom of the carbon and two atoms of the oxygen. So that's why you can say that here the two chemicals are involved that are entering and leaving the living body. When oxygen enters the body, it enters the blood, and the carbon dioxide is then exhaled out and comes out of the body. So this whole process is involving a chemical reactions in which the oxygen is provided to the blood and carbon dioxide is separated from the oxygen and then move out from the body. Then similarly, when you drink water, now water is again a chemical that is made up of oxygen, a molecule of oxygen, and two atoms of the hydrogen. So whenever you take water, it is converted into the sweat and breath and urine. So how this conversion takes place? Now here, your brain is involved, kidney is involved, urinary system is involved. All of these systems are involved in causing so. But actually, this is a series of reactions that convert water to the urine. Now, urine is not simply water. It consists of various other substances in it. Like it may have bicarbonate, it may have other ions like sodium can be there, like potassium can be there. So it is present in it, or it is added to the water by various chemical reactions that takes place in the body. So here we can say that chemistry is also involved here. Then dry food, as I told you, like you eat anything, whether it's a burger, whether it's a carrot, a fruit, or any vegetable, it is converted into the feces. So how it takes place? First, it is converted into the macromolecules, then energy is produced, and the rest of the material is excreted in the feces. So this whole process is involving the chemical reactions, and then the chemical energy is converted into the heat. Now, all of these things are involving the chemical reaction, but not certainly all of these reactions are the breaking down of large molecules into the smaller one. You can say all of these reactions, you can take all of these reactions as metabolism, and those reactions that are breaking down the large molecules to smaller one, they may be catabolic, and those that combining small molecule to form the large one will be anabolic. So both of these will carry out side by side to for the proper functioning of the body, for the proper regulation, like the production of the glucose for the energy purposes, breakdown of the protein, breakdown of the lipid, and then combination or addition of the lipids to form the structures of body. So these all things comes under the heading of the metabolism. Then coming to the genetics. Now, genetics is also a separate subject that is studied as a single subject, separate from the biochemistry or any other subject. But here in the biochemistry, genetics is an important aspect. From what point of view? You can ask that why you are studying genetics here. Because genetics, as I told you, DNA is the main part of the genetics. That is made up of genes, and that is made up of nucleic acid, or you can say it is the nuclear material of the cells. And nuclear material is composed of nucleic acid, proteins that are the macromolecules. So basically, that's why we study genetics here, because biochemistry is involved in the formation of the bonds the bonds that are present between the bases of the DNA, and the chemical reactions takes place for the formation of these bonds, the process of transcription, the process of translation, all of these things are studied here. And also the structure of the DNA, as I told you, it is made up of the protein and the nucleic acid. So all of these things are studied under the biochemistry.